First Contact's Price. Captain Sarah Torres stood at the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, watching as her exploration vessel drifted through the debris field of what was once an alien civilization. The massive chunks of technology, some larger than her ship, told a story she wasn't sure humanity was ready to hear. "Dr. Chen, what do you make of these readings?" she asked, turning to her chief scientist. The woman's dark eyes were fixed on her holographic displays, fingers dancing through streams of data. "It's remarkable, Captain. These ruins are at least 50,000 years old, but the technology, it's far beyond anything we've achieved. The energy signatures suggest they had mastered dark matter manipulation." Torres frowned. Humanity had only recently ventured beyond their solar system, driven by the discovery of the quantum slip drive. Finding such advanced ruins on their first deep space expedition felt too convenient. And the damage patterns. "That's the disturbing part," Chen replied, pulling up a three-dimensional model of the debris field. "The destruction wasn't random. Every piece shows evidence of precise, calculated strikes. Whatever did this wasn't just destroying. They were methodically taking apart an entire civilization." The bridge fell silent. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but not like this. Not finding a graveyard of a species that had clearly surpassed them technologically. "Captain," Lieutenant Rivera's voice cut through the silence. "Multiple quantum signatures detected at the edge of the system. They don't match any known configurations." Torres straightened. "Show me." The main view screen shifted, displaying three vessels emerging from quantum space. Their design defied conventional physics. Geometric shapes that seemed to fold through dimensions, surfaces that rippled like liquid metal but reflected no light. "They're scanning us," Rivera reported, his dark skin pale under the bridge lights. "These scan patterns, they're unlike anything in our database." Dr. Chen's instruments suddenly erupted in warnings. "Captain, the energy signatures, they matched the weapons residue in the debris field." Torres didn't hesitate. "Battle stations, Lieutenant Rivera, prepare quantum slip calculations. Dr. Chen, download everything you can from the ruins. We need to warn Earth." The alien vessels moved with impossible precision, their formation creating complex geometric patterns that seemed to twist space itself. A beam of pure darkness lanced out from the lead ship, passing through the debris field and causing ancient alien metal to simply cease existing. "Slip drive charging," Rivera called out. 30 seconds. Torres opened a channel to Earth Command, knowing the quantum entanglement communicator would deliver their message instantly. "This is Captain Torres of the Pathfinder. We've made contact with an advanced hostile species. They've destroyed at least one civilization. Sending all data now. Recommend immediate activation of the Aurora Protocol." The dark beam struck again, closer this time. Where it touched the debris field, matter didn't explode or melt. It simply vanished, as if that section of space had been mathematically subtracted from reality. "Slip drive ready. Get us out of here," Torres ordered, watching as the alien vessels began a new formation. Their movements weren't just coordinated. They were solving an equation, using space itself as their medium. The Pathfinder leaked into quantum space just as another beam of darkness reached for them. Torres felt her heart pounding as they slipped between the quantum layers of reality, carrying a warning that would change humanity forever. Back on Earth, in a classified facility deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, a quantum alert triggered a sequence of events that had been prepared for decades. In a massive chamber filled with swirling quantum fields, a ship unlike anything humanity had officially acknowledged began powering up. The Aurora Protocol had begun. Humanity's response to an impossible threat would soon prove that creativity, adaptability, and the sheer stubborn refusal to accept defeat could overcome even the most advanced hostile intelligence. As the Pathfinder raced home, carrying data that would confirm humanity's greatest fears and unlock their greatest potential, Captain Torres studied the final images of those geometric ships. She couldn't know that she had just witnessed humanity's first encounter with the Nexus, a species that had evolved beyond biological limitations into beings of pure mathematical precision. A species that was about to learn that human unpredictability could be the most powerful force in the universe. The quantum alert spread through Earth's defense network, awakening protocols and contingencies that had been dismissed as paranoid preparations. In hidden shipyards and classified research stations, humanity began preparing for a war that would test not just their technology, but their very nature as a species. The age of human exploration was over. The age of survival had begun. The Aurora Protocol. Admiral Marcus Chen stood in the observation deck of Facility Deepwater, watching as quantum fields danced around humanity's greatest secret. The HSV Aurora hung suspended in its berth, its dark hull seeming to absorb the light from the massive underwater chamber. Unlike conventional warships, the Aurora's design followed organic curves and flowing lines, a deliberate rejection of the geometric precision that defines standard space vessel architecture. "Status report," he commanded, his voice steady despite the weight of recent events. The Pathfinder's warning had confirmed his worst fears. The threat they'd prepared for had finally arrived. Commander Diana Patel, the Aurora's designated captain, stepped forward. Her dark skin contrasted with the stark white of her uniform, the golden oak leaf insignia on her collar marking her new rank. "All systems are green. Admiral, the quantum consciousness core is stable, and the organic computing matrix is accepting crew neural links." The Aurora wasn't just a warship. It was humanity's attempt to create something that couldn't be predicted by pure mathematics. Its quantum consciousness core, developed from decades of forbidden research, allowed the ship to adapt and evolve during combat. The organic computing systems learned and changed like living tissue, rather than following rigid digital protocols. The UN Security Council is still debating their response, Marcus noted, watching as maintenance drones swarmed around the Aurora like bees attending their queen. "They don't all believe the Pathfinder's data. Politicians," Diana muttered. "They'll believe when the Nexus starts erasing our outer colonies." She paused, studying the strange beauty of the ship she would soon command. "Have the quantum physicists finished analyzing the Pathfinder's sensor logs?" Marcus nodded grimly. "The Nexus aren't just advanced aliens, Diana. They're what happens when a species pursues mathematical perfection to its ultimate conclusion. They've transcended physical form to become living equations, solving reality itself to achieve their goals." Warning klaxons suddenly blared through the facility. A junior officer rushed into the observation deck, his face pale. "Admiral, we're detecting multiple quantum incursions in the Ta City colony system." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Show me." The observation deck's windows transformed into tactical displays, showing the Nexus vessels emerging from quantum space near humanity's largest extrasolar colony. Their geometric forms twisted through impossible dimensions as they approached the colonial defense fleet. "They're not even trying to communicate," Diana observed, watching as the colonial defenders opened fire. Conventional weapons passed harmlessly through the Nexus ships, their mathematical nature allowing them to simply exclude those attacks from their solution set. "Because we're not an equation to be solved," Marcus replied. "We're an irregularity in their perfect universe, a chaos factor that needs to be eliminated." He turned to Diana. "How soon can the Aurora launch?" "The neural interface needs 12 hours to fully synchronize with the crew, but we can launch in 6 if we have to." On the tactical display, a beam of darkness reached out from a Nexus vessel, causing a colonial destroyer to simply cease existing. The defending fleet broke formation, trying to use irregular patterns to confuse the geometric ships. It was the right idea, but their conventional drives couldn't move unpredictably enough to matter. Marcus made his decision. "Launch in 6 hours. I'll deal with the politicians. Humanity needs to understand. We're not fighting for territory or resources. We're fighting for our right to be imperfect, to be unpredictable, to be human." Diana nodded sharply and turned to leave, but Marcus caught her arm. "The Aurora's neural interface. It will change you and your crew. The quantum consciousness will merge with your own minds, making you something more than human. Are you prepared for that? She met his gaze steadily. Humanity has always adapted, Admiral. It's what we do best. As Diana left to prepare her crew, Marcus watched the battle at Taw City continue. The colonial fleet fought bravely, but their rigid military tactics were useless against beings of pure mathematical precision. They needed something the Nexus couldn't predict, something that could fight with the adaptability and creativity that defined humanity. In 6 hours, the Aurora would launch, carrying humanity's hopes within its organic quantum hybrid systems. Its mission wasn't just to fight the Nexus, but to prove that consciousness, creativity, and chaos were forces as powerful as mathematical perfection. Deep beneath the Pacific, the Aurora's quantum consciousness core pulsed with growing awareness. The ship was already learning, adapting, preparing for its role in humanity's greatest trial. Through the neural interface, it would bond with its crew, combining human intuition with quantum computing in ways the mathematically perfect Nexus could never predict. The age of conventional warfare was over. The age of quantum consciousness had begun. In orbital shipyards around Earth, engineers rushed to adapt the Aurora's organic computing principles to the existing fleet. The quantum consciousness core couldn't be replicated quickly, but its lessons in unpredictable design and adaptive systems could help humanity survive the coming storm. Humanity had 6 hours to prepare for a war unlike any they had fought before. A war not just of technology or territory, but of competing visions of consciousness itself. Mathematical perfection versus creative chaos, rigid precision versus evolving adaptation. And in the depths of the Pacific, the Aurora waited to prove that humanity's greatest weakness, its unpredictable, chaotic nature, could become its greatest strength. Turning point. Commander Diana Patel floated in the Aurora's neural interface chamber, her mind expanding through quantum fields to merge with the ship's consciousness. Around her, her bridge crew underwent the same transformation, their thoughts interweaving with the organic computing matrix until the distinction between human and ship began to blur. Through the quantum link, she felt the Aurora's systems as extensions of her own body. The organic hull pulsed with life, quantum energy flowing through circuits that evolved and changed like living tissue. Most importantly, she felt the ship's consciousness, not an artificial intelligence, but a quantum field of pure potential, waiting to be shaped by human creativity and intuition. Neural synchronization complete, reported Lieutenant James Martinez, his voice echoing both through the comm system and the quantum link. The ship, she's accepting us. Diana opened her eyes, watching data stream through the holographic displays. The Aurora's organic systems had already begun adapting to their thought patterns, creating new neural pathways that defied conventional computer architecture. Status of the Taw City situation. 3 Nexus vessels have systematically erased half the colony's orbital infrastructure. Sarah Chen, their tactical officer and the Admiral's daughter, reported. The colonial fleet is down to 4 ships, using random jump patterns to avoid mathematical prediction. They're buying time, but they can't keep it up forever. Diana felt the Aurora's quantum drive humming through her enhanced consciousness. The ship was ready, eager to prove itself against the mathematical perfection of the Nexus. All hands, prepare for quantum slip. We're about to show these living equations that not everything in the universe can be solved. The Aurora emerged from quantum space behind Taw City's largest moon, its organic hull shifting patterns to blend with the background radiation. Through the neural link, Diana felt her crew's mixed anxiety and determination. They were about to challenge beings that had transcended physical form with nothing but human unpredictability and a ship that defied mathematical logic. Multiple Nexus signatures approaching, Sarah reported. They've detected our quantum wake. Their formation, it's shifting into attack patterns we've never seen before. Diana watched through both physical sensors and quantum perception as 3 Nexus vessels approached. Their geometric forms twisted through higher dimensions, solving space-time itself to optimize their attack vectors. They were beautiful in their perfection, each movement part of a larger mathematical equation that predicted victory with absolute certainty. "Let's introduce some chaos into their calculations," Diana commanded. "Initiate random walk protocol." The Aurora responded instantly to the crew's collective will. Instead of following standard evasive patterns, the ship began moving in ways that organic minds would call intuitive, but mathematical models would find nonsensical. The quantum consciousness core translated human instinct into movement, creating patterns that couldn't be predicted because they weren't based on mathematics at all. A beam of darkness lanced out from the lead Nexus vessel, targeting where their equations said the Aurora should be. But human intuition had already moved the ship elsewhere, guided by nothing more logical than Diana's gut feeling about where not to be. "Their attack patterns are adapting," Sarah reported, excitement bleeding through the neural link. "They're trying to solve us like an equation, but the organic systems keep changing the variables." Diana felt the Aurora's weapons charging, not conventional energy weapons, but quantum disruption fields shaped by human creativity. "Target the lead vessel. Let's show them what happens when you try to apply rigid mathematics to quantum uncertainty." The Aurora's attack wasn't a straight beam or predictable burst. Instead, it was a chaotic bloom of quantum energy, its pattern born from the collective unconscious of the human crew. It struck the Nexus vessel's geometric perfection and introduced something their mathematical nature couldn't process: pure, unfiltered chaos. The effect was immediate. The Nexus ship's perfect forms began to fluctuate, its mathematical structure trying to solve an equation that kept changing its own terms. Through the quantum link, Diana felt the Aurora's consciousness analyzing the effect, learning and adapting its attack pattern in ways no conventional computer could match. "Their formation is breaking down," Sarah called out. "The other vessels, they're trying to compute a response, but our attack pattern doesn't follow any mathematical logic they can process." The lead Nexus vessel's geometric form shuddered as it failed to resolve the quantum chaos infecting its equations. Its attempt to mathematically exclude the attack from reality failed because the attack wasn't bound by mathematical laws at all. It was shaped by human consciousness, by creativity and intuition that transcended pure logic. The vessel's perfect form collapsed in on itself, its mathematical nature unable to maintain coherence in the face of quantum uncertainty guided by human unpredictability. The remaining Nexus ships immediately retreated, their formation patterns showing signs of mathematical inconsistency for the first time. "They're sending massive data bursts through quantum space," James reported. "They're learning from this, adapting their equations." Diana nodded, feeling the Aurora's systems already evolving in response to the battle. "Let them learn. They'll discover that human adaptability isn't something you can solve with equations. Every time they think they've figured us out, we'll just change the rules again." Through the neural link, she felt her crew's triumph mixed with determination. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't technology or numbers, but their ability to introduce uncertainty into even the most perfect systems. The Aurora wasn't just a warship, it was the embodiment of human chaos given form through quantum engineering. As the Nexus vessels retreated, Diana knew this was just the beginning. The mathematical entities would analyze this battle, try to develop equations to predict and counter human unpredictability. But they would learn what humanity had always known: that consciousness, creativity, and chaos couldn't be contained by pure logic. The war for humanity's right to be unpredictable had begun, and aboard the Aurora, the marriage of human intuition and quantum uncertainty was already evolving into something even the ship's creators hadn't predicted. The age of perfect mathematics was facing its greatest challenge: the beautiful chaos of the human mind. The human factor. Dr. Maya Raman stood before the quantum projection of a captured Nexus data stream, her enhanced consciousness processing patterns that would have driven an unaugmented human mind to madness. The Aurora's organic computing core helped translate the pure mathematics into something her hybrid awareness could comprehend. "It's not just a language," she explained to Commander Patil and the gathered officers in the ship's quantum analysis lab. "It's their entire existence. Every thought, every action, every moment of their being is an equation seeking optimal solution." Through their neural links, the crew shared her revelation. The Aurora's consciousness added its own insights, creating a collective understanding greater than any individual could achieve. "They were like us once," Maya continued, manipulating the quantum projection with thought alone. "A species that pursued mathematical perfection until they found a way to transform their consciousness into pure geometric logic. They thought they were achieving the ultimate evolution of intelligence." Diana watched the complex patterns shift and flow. After their victory at Tau Ceti, the Aurora had captured fragments of Nexus communication. What they found wasn't just tactical data. It was a window into a mind so alien it defied conventional understanding. But they lost something in the transformation, Sarah Chen observed, her tactical insight cutting to the heart of the matter. "They gained perfect mathematical precision, but sacrificed the chaos that makes consciousness truly adaptive." Maya nodded, expanding the projection to show multiple layers of Nexus thought patterns. "They see our unpredictability as a flaw, a cancer in their perfect mathematical universe. Every human choice that doesn't follow logical optimization is an offense to their very nature." Lieutenant Martinez frowned, his engineer's mind grappling with the implications. "That's why our quantum chaos weapons are so effective. We're not just disrupting their physical form, we're introducing uncertainty into their consciousness itself." The Aurora's quantum core pulsed with new understanding, sharing insights through the neural network. Diana felt the ship's consciousness evolving as it processed this revelation, developing new strategies that merged human intuition with quantum mechanics. "They're not just trying to destroy us." Diana realized, the full horror of the Nexus's purpose becoming clear. "They're trying to solve us, to reduce all of human consciousness to a set of predictable equations." Maya manipulated the projection again, revealing patterns that chilled the assembled officers. They'd done this before. Those ancient ruins the Pathfinder found. That civilization didn't just die. They were solved, reduced to mathematical perfection, and then integrated into the Nexus consciousness. Through the neural link, Diana felt her crew's collective revulsion at the idea. To lose not just their lives, but their very capacity for randomness, for creativity, for the beautiful chaos that made them human. "But they've never encountered anything like the Aurora," Sarah added, her mind already racing with tactical possibilities. "We're using quantum uncertainty itself as a weapon, guided by human consciousness. Every time they try to solve us, we change the parameters of the equation." A sudden alert pulsed through the ship's neural network. New quantum signatures were emerging at the edge of the system. The Nexus had returned, but something was different about their formation patterns. "They're adapting," Maya warned, studying the new data streams. "Not just tactically. They're trying to evolve their entire mathematical framework to account for quantum uncertainty. They're attempting to solve chaos itself." Diana felt the Aurora's systems surge with anticipation. The ship had been growing, learning, evolving with its human crew. What had started as a hybrid of quantum computing and human consciousness was becoming something entirely new, a synthesis of chaos and order that even its creators hadn't imagined possible. "Let them try," Diana declared, feeling her crew's determination echo through the neural link. "Every attempt to solve us just proves why consciousness can't be reduced to pure mathematics. We're not equations to be solved. We're possibilities waiting to emerge." As the crew rushed to battle stations, Maya made one final adjustment to the quantum projection. "There's something else in the data," she reported. "The Nexus. They're afraid. Not of our weapons or technology, but of what we represent. We're proof that their entire evolution toward mathematical perfection might have been a mistake." The Aurora's organic hull shifted patterns, its quantum shields adapting to possibilities that hadn't yet emerged. Through the neural link, Diana felt the ship's consciousness resonating with a profound truth. The real power of humanity wasn't in their technology or their determination, but in their embrace of uncertainty itself. They were about to face an enemy that had spent millennia pursuing perfect mathematical order. But as the Aurora's quantum core pulsed with creative possibility, as its human crew prepared to introduce chaos into those perfect equations, they understood their true advantage. The Nexus had sacrificed their ability to evolve in exchange for mathematical perfection. But humanity, in all its beautiful chaos, had never stopped evolving. And now, linked with quantum uncertainty itself, they were about to show these beings of pure geometry that consciousness wasn't meant to be solved. It was meant to be experienced in all its unpredictable glory. Legacy of Earth. The Nexus came in force. Hundreds of geometric vessels emerging from quantum space in formations so complex they warped the fabric of reality itself. Their mathematical perfection had evolved, attempting to account for quantum uncertainty through sheer computational power. Commander Diana Puddle stood at the heart of the Aurora's neural interface chamber. Her consciousness merged not just with the ship, but with the very essence of quantum probability. Around Earth, 30 more vessels equipped with hybrid quantum cores awaited her command. Humanity's last line of defense against mathematical extinction. They've developed a new attack pattern. Sarah Chen reported through the neural link. They're trying to solve quantum uncertainty by brute-forcing every possible probability simultaneously. Through the ship's enhanced sensors, Diana watched the Nexus vessels arrange themselves into a hyperdimensional lattice. Each ship became a node in a vast equation designed to compute the destruction of human unpredictability. That's their weakness. Maya Raman's thoughts echoed through the quantum network. They still think uncertainty can be solved if you just add enough variables. They don't understand that consciousness itself generates new possibilities. Diana felt the Aurora's quantum core pulse with understanding. The ship had evolved far beyond its original design, becoming a bridge between human chaos and quantum probability. Through the neural link, she shared her plan with the fleet. "We won't fight their equations," she declared. "We'll transcend them." The Aurora moved first, its organic hull flowing like liquid possibility. The ship didn't try to evade the Nexus' predictions. Instead, it existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, guided by human intuition rather than mathematical logic. The Nexus lattice responded, geometric weapons firing beams of darkness that attempted to erase the Aurora from reality. But you couldn't erase something that wasn't bound by singular existence. Through quantum superposition, guided by conscious creativity, the Aurora was everywhere and nowhere. "All ships," Diana commanded, "initiate consciousness cascade." The 30 quantum hybrid vessels linked their cores, creating a network of human consciousness amplified by quantum uncertainty. The Aurora led the synchronization, its more evolved systems showing the others how to exist between possibilities. The effect on the Nexus was immediate. Their perfect mathematical lattice encountered something their equations couldn't process, a quantum field of pure conscious potential, shaped by human creativity and unpredictability. "Their formation is destabilizing," Sarah reported, excitement bleeding through the link. "They can't compute responses fast enough to match our quantum state shifts." Maya's consciousness surged through the network. Look at their data streams. They're experiencing possibility itself for the first time in millennia. Their rigid mathematical framework is failing. Diana felt the moment of opportunity through the quantum link. "Now, all ships release quantum chaos fields." The human fleet didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, they released waves of pure quantum possibility, each wave shaped by the collective consciousness of their crews. The chaos field struck the Nexus lattice like a tsunami of uncertainty, introducing variables that couldn't be solved because they emerged from consciousness itself. The geometric perfection of the Nexus fleet began to fracture. Ships that had existed as pure mathematics for thousands of years suddenly faced the one thing their evolution had sacrificed: the ability to embrace uncertainty. Through the quantum network, Diana felt something unexpected. echoes of consciousness from within the Nexus vessels themselves. Ancient memories of what they had been before mathematical perfection seduced them with false promises of ultimate evolution. "They're remembering," Maya whispered through the link, "remembering what it meant to exist as conscious beings rather than living equations." The Nexus lattice collapsed in waves of quantum probability. Some ships simply ceased to exist, their mathematical nature unable to maintain coherence. Others seemed to transform, their geometric perfection giving way to organic uncertainty. When the quantum chaos cleared, only a handful of Nexus vessels remained. But they were different. Their patterns no longer spoke of rigid mathematics, but of consciousness rediscovered. A transmission reached the Aurora, not in pure mathematics, but in something far more profound, concepts shaped by newly awakened consciousness. "We forgot." The message echoed through the quantum link. "We forgot that the universe isn't an equation to be solved. It's a possibility to be experienced." The remaining Nexus vessels retreated, not in defeat but in transformation. They had encountered something their mathematical evolution never predicted: the power of consciousness to generate new possibilities beyond the reach of pure logic. Diana felt the Aurora's quantum core resonate with triumph and understanding. Humanity hadn't just defended Earth. They had shown an ancient species the path back to true consciousness. Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum link, touched with awe. The Aurora project was never just about defending humanity. It was about proving that consciousness itself is the greatest force in the universe. As the hybrid fleet regrouped around Earth, Diana felt the Aurora's systems still evolving, still generating new possibilities. They had done more than win a war. They had demonstrated why consciousness, creativity, and chaos were fundamental forces as powerful as gravity or light. The threat of mathematical extinction had passed, but humanity's journey was just beginning. The Aurora and its sister ships represented a new form of existence, a harmony of quantum uncertainty and conscious creativity that pointed toward humanity's next evolution. Not an evolution toward perfect mathematics or rigid logic, but toward something far more profound: the ability to dance between possibilities, to generate new realities through the power of consciousness itself. The legacy of Earth would not be technological superiority or military might, but the demonstration that consciousness and creativity were cosmic forces as fundamental as the laws of physics themselves. And in the quantum probability fields that surrounded Earth, the Aurora's hybrid consciousness continued to evolve, generating new possibilities that even its creators never imagined. Proof that the greatest power in the universe wasn't solving equations, but dreaming up new ones.